Most people think buy now, pay later is harmless convenience. But the truth hides in the small numbers most of us never see. It starts with a simple promise. Break payments into 4. No interest. No fees. Just freedom, they say. But behind that promise sits a very different reality. A reality built on psychology, timing, and quiet debt. And in America today, that quiet debt is growing faster than ever. So let's break down the numbers that almost no one mentions. Because once you see the math, you will never unsee it. The average BNPL purchase is small, usually under 100, but the average American uses it 16 times a year. 16 tiny payments, stacked across months. 4 payments each time. 64 payments total. 64 deadlines. You must not miss. Miss one by 24 hours. And the fees begin. $10 here. $15 there. Multiply that by millions. And the industry thrives. Not from products sold, but from slip-ups made. But the real danger isn't the fee. It's the illusion of affordability. Because your mind reads 25 instead of the full price. And suddenly, you are buying what you never planned to buy. Studies show BNPL increases spending by at least 30%. Not because you need more, but because it feels smaller. And small purchases become a silent monthly drain. $10 here, $20 there. Suddenly, hundreds are gone, without you noticing. Meanwhile, companies report record growth, built on tiny debts. But here is the part few want to discuss. BNPL companies do not care if you finish paying. They care that you begin, and begin again. Because repeated use is where the profit lives, and repeated use is where the trap forms. Let's follow one American through 1 year. $100 purchase every 3 weeks. By December, that is over $1,700. But the brain never sees that number at once. It sees $25 again and again. 25 becomes comfort, even habit. Habits become chains. When money gets tight, then the cycle tightens. Without warning, 3 payments left from the last purchase, 4 from the one before, 2 from another. 6 purchases overlap into one living month. Your account becomes a maze of deadlines. Your paycheck becomes a map of obligations. 25 feels harmless until it multiplies. One day you look at your bank balance and realize the number is far lower than expected. Not because of one big purchase, but many small ones. That is the hidden cost, the quiet erosion, the cost that feels invisible until the damage grows. But this story doesn't end in confusion. It ends with clarity and a simple shift. Because once you see the pattern, you can break it. And breaking it starts with one question. Do I need this now? Or am I buying comfort? That question alone saves thousands a year because it pulls you back from automatic spending and returns your choices to your control. The truth is simple. Debt hides in habits, but freedom hides there too, waiting for attention. BNPL is not evil. It's simply unchecked. And unchecked systems grow dangerous fast. But Americans have climbed out of deeper holes, and we can climb out of this one too. Not by fear, but by awareness, by asking better questions before we tap accept, by seeing the full price instead of the fragment, by choosing discipline over convenience. When we do that, the numbers shift. They shift from loss to stability, from confusion to control, from debt to freedom. The industry depends on our silence, but silence ends when knowledge begins. And today you know, more than before, you know the math behind the comfort. You know how small numbers become large ones. You know how habits become chains. But you also know chains can break. They break when we pause and choose differently. They break when we see the real cost. They break when we decide our future matters. The path to freedom is not loud. It is quiet, steady, and intentional. And it begins with awareness. Awareness turns habits into decisions. Decisions turn chaos into clarity. And clarity builds a debt-free future. A future where Americans keep what they earn. Where money strengthens lives instead of draining them. Where small choices lead to big freedom. And where every family moves forward together. The hidden cost of BNPL is real, but so is the power to beat it. One choice at a time. One habit at a time. That is how we rise. That is how we win. And that is how we make Americans debt-free. The story ends here, but your freedom begins. Choose clarity. Choose freedom.